Ford Motor Company is now targeting underperforming employees. CEO Jim Farley believes that there are a number of veteran employees who are not performing up to expectations. So Farley is making the moves that he thinks are necessary to get more productivity out of Ford's employee base. Although the details may differ, this is not the first time that we are hearing about the desire to get better results from an employee base. Google CEO Sundar Pichai recently told the Vox Code conference that Google needs to achieve 20% with its employee group. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg openly said that, realistically, certain employees just do not belong here. Jim Farley has proven that he is not afraid to say and do controversial things in order to bring about success at Ford. And he has faced plenty of situations, both good and bad. And the current weakening macroeconomic environment is encouraging bold moves. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And job cuts are what this means for Ford. So it should come as no surprise that Farley is making tough moves. The question is this what Ford needs? Can Ford be successful in an increasingly competitive automotive industry? Are legacy automakers having to make too many changes to recapture the glory of their past? Or are the Detroit Three going the way of the Detroit Lions? I guess time will tell. About 2 months ago, Ford announced that it would cut 3,000 jobs. This massive layoff comes as the company tries to transition to electric vehicles and away from gas-powered cars. For years now, legacy automakers have been in an emerging rivalry with electric vehicle leader Tesla. But, before we get into that, please hit the like button. Please leave us a comment below, we would love to hear from you. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. Veteran white-collar employees at Ford are being asked to make a tough decision. That is, if their managers classify them as an underperformer. Underperforming Ford employees in the US with 8 years of experience are being targeted in this move. If they are seen as not pulling their weight, will be offered a deal. They have two choices. Accept an immediate buyout and leave Ford. Submit to and risk failing a performance improvement program. If they failed the performance improvement regimen, they would lose all claim to a competitive severance package. Ford sees these employees as quiet quitters and underachievers not living up to their full potential. So, the first step is to be enrolled in the 4 to 6 week program. In the program, they are given weekly targets. Their managers require regular updates on whether they achieve their weekly targets. If their productivity does not improve to their superior standard, then their employment can be terminated. Farley has offered to simplify the process by offering an immediate buyout as one option. That gives employees the option to simply leave if feel as though they cannot endure the stress of this pressure cooker experience. Employees who enter the performance improvement program must be sufficiently motivated. Because if they fail the program, they would forfeit a payout and other related termination benefits. So, the hope is that these employees would turn things around. We want to help those that go through this, but employees must be serious and fully committed, Ford said. Ford's new policy comes amid rising popularity of the quiet quitting phenomenon. In quiet quitting, employees are simply acting their wage and foregoing the corporate hustle culture. Big corporate employers with large employee bases have been scrambling to respond to the trend. Some large corporations view this as a measurement of the effectiveness of management. In July, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said, "I will be turning up the heat and cracking down on underperformers." Many companies do not offer general severance programs because the results can be risky and unpredictable. Actually, the outcomes can be the exact opposite of the desired result. The high performers management wants to keep are sometimes the ones most tempted to accept the buyout and leave. These high performers have the best chances of finding a new job. Alternatively, the lower performers with low motivation might elect to keep collecting their monthly paycheck. It may be a better option than risking the time and effort to find a more fulfilling job at another company. Ford is clearly banking on their ability to manage the lower performers out of the company. The trick is to do it selectively without having the high-performing employees leave with the cash. If you recall, last month Ford announced that it will cut 3,000 jobs. This massive layoff comes as the company tries to transition to electric vehicles and away from gas-powered cars. For years now, legacy automakers have been in an emerging rivalry with electric vehicle leader Tesla. The market capitalization of Tesla reached $1 trillion earlier this year. That is more than 10 times the market capitalization of Ford. And it is more than 5 times the combined market capitalization of Ford and General Motors combined. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And job cuts are what this means for Ford. For months now, Ford chief executive Jim Farley has been saying that Ford has too many employees. The cuts will encompass 2,000 salaried positions and 1,000 contract jobs. This headcount reduction comes amid fears of a recession in the United States. Ford currently employs approximately 31,000 salaried people in North America. The Ford Plus plan includes reducing structural costs by $3 billion per year by 2026. At the same time, Ford is investing billions in its electric vehicle business. CEO Jim Farley has mapped out an approach for Ford to increase a wide lineup of electrical cars. This headcount reduction comes amid fears of a recession in the United States. And, as inflation is at a 40-year high, cars have been getting progressively more expensive in the past 20 years. The combination of higher prices, economic recession, and climate change are creating a sense of urgency for Ford. Like Tesla, Ford plans to generate extra sales via offerings that rely upon virtual software program and connectivity. Ford has separately accounted for its operations into electric-powered, combustion engine and business automobile operations for the past year. Farley said that the job cuts will come from combustion operations. But Ford stated on Monday the personnel cuts will have an effect on all elements of the employer. Rival General Motors announced 14,000 job cuts in 2018 to focus on electric vehicles and software. General Motors CEO Mary Barra has announced that the company will transition to an all-electric product line. The current lineup from General Motors includes the Chevy Bolt, the Hummer EV, the Silverado pickup EV, and the electric Blazer SUV. Starting in the fall of 2023, the transition begins in earnest with the all-electric Chevrolet Equinox EV. The Chevy Equinox EV price range will start at $30,000. At that price, General Motors expects the Chevy Equinox EV to be a high-volume, mass-market vehicle. Then, by 2035, all General Motors vehicles will be electric. What do you think? Please hit the like button and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.